A klesha means an afflictive mind state. So again, we have the three categories. There are many greedy states. I want, I need, or I like, bring that to me. These are all permutations on the greed klesha. The hatred klesha is an aversion klesha, you see? And that is, I don't like that. I don't like this person. I don't like what they're saying. I don't like this government, whatever. But it has the energy of pushing away, whereas the greed klesha has the energy of acquiring, bringing to. Give me more of this. I want your love. I want your attention. I want whatever. So these arise from these. The third division, I guess, of the kleshas is delusion. And yet, I think we could say that greed is a delusion, and so is hatred or aversion. So really, maybe there's only one category, but all of these are afflictive emotions because they cause the person to suffer. Think about it. I want a particular kind of ice cream. So I go out to get the ice cream and the store is out of it. I suffer. What does my mind do? You know, it might say a word that's not very nice as a result of that, or it might be a little bit angry. But these are suffering states. It's not comfortable to want something and not have it be there. Or then you have the aversion klesha, where someone says, oh, I just can't stand that color of green. They're suffering. Every time they see the color, they will suffer, because it's uncomfortable to them. So these are all states of suffering mind. Now, what's very interesting, when I was a young monk, we did you remember we did a retreat where we worked with these three kleshas at one time. And as we got toward the end, I called everybody in little groups of 3 or 4, and I asked you, so what is your primary klesha? What do you see? Now, the people that rightly identified either greed or aversion as their primary klesha, they came in kind of embarrassed, and I'm so sorry about that. I should get over it, whatever. But the ones who came in and identified delusion as their primary klesha seemed to have no remorse about that at all. It's just, oh, it's just the way it is. I don't know where I'm going. I'm confused. I'm whatever. And I told the group, it says, you know, things have really changed. Because when I was a monk and we looked at our kleshas, we thought by far the first one to have was delusion, because it meant there's no way we could attain our enlightenment. But people today don't see it in that way. So it's very interesting. And it's not about being embarrassed. It is about being humble in the face of how the mind runs you or works with you. So actually, any afflictive state, someone could just be having a moment where they're worrying over something. That too falls into the category of delusion. You see, they're worrying about a loved one who's maybe ill or whatever. Maybe has gone on a trip and they haven't heard from them in a long time. Whatever it is, the mind, through these kleshas, makes people suffer. So we're trying to cut through all of them because there is something on the other side. These kleshas do arise in normal waking consciousness, of course, but they also come in dream consciousness, don't they? Because you have dreams that leave you unsettled, or some do. And so when you begin to look at it, the mind is working all of this time. And what we want to do is get to the other side, really. Transcending, sometimes is, in the West here, it's kind of seen as rising above it all. But you have to be careful, because that sounds kind of diluted to me. The real meaning of transcending is cutting through. It's like the blade that cuts through whatever stands in the way. Perhaps a machete, if you're trying to get from here to there and it's all dense jungle, you need something to cut through so you can stay on the path. And really, that's what we're doing with the mind, is cutting through those faulty ways of seeing. They're not bad, they're not sinful, they're not any of that. They're just not true. And so what we want to get to is a true way of seeing what is. Thank you.